everyone, and welcome to your second royal reading of today, a Thursday, here at MadWorldTarot. A beautiful June afternoon, ridiculously summer-like afternoon, and we are reading about elections, the US and the UK, not about the elections themselves, but about the consequences for the Parkles. We've had a look at Donald Trump and that deportation story. Now we're looking at Sir Keir Starmer and the likelihood of him stripping, or the possibilities, let's say, rather than likelihood, of him stripping Harry and Meghan's titles if he comes to power, and it's probably when he comes to power. At this point, I have the Guardian of the Night Tarot on the tarot table for this one. This is a Neil Sean story that I'm looking at. Neil Sean says that Sir Keir Starmer is not a royalist, despite being Sir Keir Starmer, and he's particularly not a fan of Harry and Meghan. This is, as I say, according to Neil Sean, and he would be quite happy to strip them of their titles. He would certainly get some brownie points from the British public, who are very interested in seeing Harry and Meghan's titles removed. So it would be a popular move on his part. So no reason for him to take his time about doing this. And so either titles get removed with a swoop of the pen, or hopefully a pen that works and doesn't sputter ink all over precious documents, historical documents, or there are whispers, to use the word that Neil Sean used, that legislation is planned to change the situation around the use of titles abroad, that they are not to be used abroad, they can only be used in the UK. So if you want to be the Duchess of Sussex, you can only call yourself that if you are actually in the UK. And that might be why Harry is in a mad scramble to find property in the UK, to call his own home, to call his own. So we're going to look at this. This is really the question of, will Labour bring the hammer down on Harry, to quote Neil Sean. Little 5-card reading, very similar to the one I've just done. Are the Parkles worried that their titles are about to go? They're under massive threat. And is Sir Keir Starmer interested in stripping them of their titles? How does he feel about this? How does he feel about them? And contingency plans in this case, the home purchase in the UK. Is this what the Harry is desperate to get a home in the UK story is really about? And will they actually lose their titles under a Labour government? So that is what we are looking at now. That would be quite an upset for them, wouldn't it? Quite a joyous thing for everyone else, whatever they might think of new leaders. I think we need to shuffle one more time. Little 5-card reading. Let's remind you, it's tarot for fun and entertainment. It is all my opinion. It's all speculation. These cards are hopping now, and I just read energy, and there is, of course, a disclaimer in the box below. And good luck to all of you who are going through elections. Many countries have been or are going. It's a big year for change, seemingly, and different energy around. Very different. I'm pondering what to do with it in terms of tarot, but I'll talk about that in the next few days, weeks. We have the Knight of Swords here. I don't know what sign Sir Keir Starmer is. It did not occur to me to look. But there we have swift and quite ruthless action with the Knight of Swords. Very direct action, very fast, very unsentimental action. It's just, okay, as I said, the stroke of a pen. Boom. Gone. There it is. Very clear with that Knight of Swords. And let's have a look at the actual situation that we are dealing with. Oh, there he is again. He showed up in the previous reading. The Hermit. That's Harry, the Virgo, the Prince. the isolated person, very isolated, very lonely, very confused, doing a lot of soul searching at the moment. I suspect, because of the number of times that this card is coming up, wondering about his life, where his future lies, what he should do, soul searching, looking for guidance, and if he can't find the answers in himself, as I said in the previous reading, then certainly looking around for advice, and hopefully not from Megan and Doria and their associates now, who seem to have advised him into some very poor decisions, and that is my personal opinion. The way things have turned out for him since he left the UK and surrendered his life into their hands. Seemingly, that is how it looks to me anyway, as an outside observer. But there he is. So how worried are they, Harry and Meghan, about losing their titles and just being plain Mr. and Mrs. Mountbatten Windsor? Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, that's a worry card. It's worrying because they aren't financially secure. They aren't financially independent. Everything that they are trying to do relates back to the royal family, and it depends on those titles. They are nothing without those titles. Nine of Pentacles upright, independent, confident, accomplished, successful, self-made, and resourceful, very comfortable in life, very comfortable in your own skin. In the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, broke, lonely, struggling to become financially secure and independent. They are not succeeding at all in their quest for fame and fortune in the United States. Well, I think they have the fortune, or perhaps the infamy at this, the fame, not the fortune. They have the fame in the sense of infamy. They have not made their fortunes. They are not financially secure, financially independent. They need that royal association. They need those titles, so they are worried. Sir Keir Starmer, how does he feel about all of this? How does he feel about them and their titles? Five of Cups in reverse. It's so interesting. It's a very similar energy to the one I got in the previous reading on Donald Trump. This position, I got the Five of Wands in reverse. Now I get the Five of Cups in reverse. That's a very emotional card. Surprising. It's about loss and regrets and sorrow. And I said at the beginning that apparently I don't know anything about the man, actually. He just doesn't interest me enough to find anything about him, find anything out about him. It's put in the right prepositions. But apparently a Republican. But here I'm getting an emotional intelligence and EQ about the situation. And that can only be for the royal family. It can't be for Harry and Meghan. They have caused distress. And that's something about this proposed legislation or the stroke of a pen that's legislation to the Knight of Swords. It's rushed legislation. Rushed through Parliament. Quick, let's do this. Five of Cups in reverse is something about this that would heal some wounds. I'm very surprised to see this. As I say, don't know anything about the man. Don't know what sign he is. Don't know. But that has an emotional resonance. And that is, okay, we can fix this mess. We can do something about this Five of Cups situation. The sorrow, this loss, this heartache. There's the Five of Cups depicts the anguish of the Five of Cups. We can do something about it by sorting out this titles mess, which is very interesting. And I say that it's not Harry and Meghan because here is the lost soul, the hermit, who's gone wandering off and has caused all of this chaos, in my opinion. So, is this why the hermit is scrambling to buy property in the UK? There are lots of reasons why he might be doing it, and we will look at the situation properly. But just in this context of maybe the titles are going, or maybe you can't use the titles if you aren't in the UK, if you're in California. So if in USA, then you can't be the Duke of Sussex. You can only be has-been Mountbatten Windsor. So this question is really, is this why, or one of the reasons why he's in such a rush to buy a home in the UK? I got the Five of Swords in reverse. It's a defeated energy. Fives in reverse, change. I've been talking about change because of all these elections and these different energies coming into power. Maybe not better, maybe not worse, just different. And there it is, Five of Swords energy in reverse. It's giving up, defeated. I can't go on in this conflicted way, because the Five of Swords is two levels of conflict: internal conflict, fighting with oneself, and then external conflict, fighting with other people. I don't want to fight anymore. So it's admitting defeat at some level. Admitting defeat, I haven't managed to make my own way in the world. I am nothing without the title that I have as a result of being born royal. Nine of Pentacles in reverse. I'm defeated in California. I'm defeated in the United States. I don't know what to do. Hermit, help. And let me back in. And I promise I'll be nice. Oh, don't believe it for a second. My opinion. But yeah, that is somebody that is really struggling with their life choices right now, because their life choices have led them into a lot of conflict and a lot of hollow victories. Always that expression, but it's a very useful expression for that card, and more of a defeat than a hollow victory now that the card is in reverse. And are the titles going? Would they go under a Labour government? We got the Four of Cups. That's the apathy, indifference, rejection card of something being offered and, oh, it doesn't really appeal. Oh, I'm not really that interested. Tells me that the Parkles might find themselves in a situation where they have to disclaim their titles, or at least one of them has to disclaim the title. Can you imagine her giving up that Duchess thing, Princess Meghan? But it's telling me that it might just be the path of least resistance, that Four of Cups, of quitting, giving up, surrendering, saying, okay, I can't be this thing anymore. And that's not energy that I expected to find in this reading at all. But it does look as if things could move very quickly against them. I think that he himself, Sir Keir Starmer, would find this quite emotional and quite difficult, as well as thinking that it might be a way to soothe some wounds in the country. With the Five of Cups, a lot of people are very upset about the way Harry and Meghan have abused the British people and criticised them and said they're racist and they've been mean and nasty and all the rest of it, bigoted. But also the pain in the royal family. But there's pain in here for Sir Keir Starmer as well, that I think is Harry and Meghan, or Harry or Meghan, having to say, I realise that this isn't going to work out between me and the royal family, or between me and the British people, between me and the new government, and so I quit. I'm not fired, I quit. Strange outcome, quite disturbing, because it makes me wonder about the state of mind of this hermit who has gone so awfully astray, in my opinion, and not just my opinion. I think also his blood family's opinion. So odd energy in this reading, a lot of emotion in this reading, and I guess those titles for him are very emotional, and it's his energy that is showing up more than hers, although the Nine of Pentacles does normally refer to a single woman who's trying to make her way in the world, or has made her way in the world. And this single woman has failed to make her way in the world. So, weird energy in that card, that's for sure. That's your reading. Thanks for watching. I will see you again tomorrow.